Today, I will help you get familiar with Excel tables. I think that many of you know about them, but don't seem to dare using them. So let's start addressing your concerns. Hi guys, welcome to the Lazy Productive channel, where we think you can achieve more just by mastering simple tools. If you are still not convinced about why Excel tables are useful, please watch my previous video first, which is about what are Excel tables and why you should use them. Otherwise, keep watching. Here I have a regular table, and to make it an Excel table, I just have to select a cell anywhere in the table and click on Ctrl T. Check that my table has headings, because it does, and click on OK. Let's undo to show you another way. In the Home tab, go to Format it as a table and you will have the same. But in here, we have more options, as we can select a style directly before creating the table. One last way to do it is to go to the Insert table and click on the Table button. When you hover over it, you can oversee the appropriate shortcut. For some of you, it is Ctrl L. The first thing you notice when you create a table is that the format changed, and there is a handle now in the bottom right of the table, so you can use it to resize the table. But this can also be done automatically just by starting to write in the next cell available. The same goes for columns. The only difference is that for columns, if you don't start with the header, the table will create a column name for you that you can rename later. If you don't want your new data to be included in the table, you will have to skip a row or a column. Also, a cool feature: when your selection is in the table, the header names will replace the worksheet columns when you scroll down, and you can still use the filters. Which means that you won't need to freeze panes anymore. Okay, that's not true. Sometimes you will need to freeze panes, but it's a cool feature. The second thing you notice is the New tab. When your selection is in the table, it disappears when you are out of the table. Well, let's go over some of the essential options in the tab. In the Properties group, you can change the name of the table by writing the name in the box and clicking on Enter. I usually start with TBL_. This is how I name all my tables, and you will understand why in a minute. With this button, you can resize your table by modifying your range or selecting a new one. Well, I think that this feature is not very useful, but it's there. Next, we'll go directly to the Table Style Options group. Here you can take out the banded rows and add the banded column, or even a combination of both. Notice that the table style options change accordingly. You can also make the first and the last column stand out, but the most useful one in here is the total row. If we check it, it adds a total row to the bottom of our table, and you can quickly select a formula that suits you for whatever column, and even look for more formulas. With that, I have to show you again how to add a row to our table. This time, you either use the handle, or you can select the last cell on the right and press Tab on your keyboard. Okay, so let's now look at the table styles. When you hover over them, it shows you a preview, and by default, it maintains the manual formatting that you already did. If you don't want to keep your formatting, right-click on the style and select Apply and Clear Formatting. And just know that you can also have no formatting at all. To set a style as a default when you create new tables, right-click and press Set as Default. You can also create your own style as well, or duplicate an existing one and mess with it a little bit. It will show up in the proposed styles. That pretty much covers the formatting of the table. So let's now have a look at the structured referencing. Or to make it simple, let's look at the formulas using the Excel table syntax. See you in part 2 of this tutorial.